Jesus is his name, and I'm all about him. I live to bring him praise. He is the way and the truth and the life. God is 3 in 1, reigning undefeated. Our God is overcome. Jesus, Jesus.
What's going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a great day. I am pretty excited to get to talk to you a little bit and share something God's really placed on my heart lately. It's a little different, but it's a challenge that I pray will just move you and encourage the mess out of you and bring you so much closer to God at the end of the day that it's not even funny. And I want to bring a call to action before you, the challenge today, and the question I have for you that I want you yourself to keep asking and keep taking inventory of this in your life, especially during a time like this. How are you sending and sharing God's gold with others? How are you sending and sharing God's gold with others during such a dark time? How are you encouraging and supplying others with hope in such a dark time? Now that's a question we're going to hit on even more. But first, I just wanted to share something with you and just kind of talk about the reality of the situation we face right now. The other day, I got shook a little bit. I was at work, and I was putting feed in the back of an older gentleman's car. And, we were taking precautions, not touching any vehicles, all that stuff. And it's just like the more we get into this, the more I'm starting to, see the realness of what we're facing. And it's scary. I mean, it's scary to me. It's definitely scary to me. But this is an older gentleman. And as you know, the coronavirus affects older people a little bit worse because immune systems aren't as strong, and it's a very fearful time for them. I loaded his car, and he said that should be enough feed for a couple months. So I guess he's planning on staying home, being safe, and that way. And as soon as he said, "Hope this will last a couple months," I was about to say, "Have a good day, sir. Be safe." And he said, "Hope to see you in a couple months." And when he said that just, it really, hit really deep for me. That shook me to my core and made me start really thinking, through the rest of that day, I was really fearful and really just taken back by the realness of everything going on around us. Just what that man's going through of, he could catch that and his life could end in just a few days. And that's scary. That's not just scary for old people, but that's scary for any of us going through that. And that got me scared, not only for myself, my wife, but so many others around me. And it really hurt me even worse to think about what others are going through that's way off than my situation, that maybe have the virus, that maybe have gone through that, have a family member that's gone through that, that's died from it or lost family members from it. And even the effects of what the virus has done in our society of people losing jobs, their job security may be unknown right now for the future. Their finances are struggling to buy necessities and needs for their home and their family, like food and that of toilet paper. Just all these things that people are struggling with. Which another one, kids who usually go to school and get free breakfast and free lunch, who aren't in school right now to receive that, who are at home and just thinking, are they getting fed with the food that they need? And it's hard. It's really hard. And when you really take some time and sit back and think about just how scary the reality of this situation is and how real this is, it sets on you. And like I said, for a few days, I was kind of fearful. And my heart was breaking for a lot of people around us. But what encouraged me during this time, even knowing that, this is a time where people are more discouraged, more hopeless and fearful than ever before in human history. People are anxious because people don't know how this is going to play out, how it's going to turn out. for them and their families and the people around them. And that's something to really think about. But even when I started feeling some fear from this, a verse that encouraged me a lot, because even during this time as followers of Christ, we hold tightly to this truth. We hold tightly to this truth that gives us hope, faith, and joy, even in the darkest of times like right now. Deuteronomy 31:8 really helped me out a lot and got me out of some of that fearfulness. It says, "It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed." It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will be with you. No matter what you're going through, no matter what your situation is right now, He is with you. And He will not leave you. No, sir. And He will not forsake you. And you don't have to fear or be dismayed, because He is with you at all times. And His hand is on your life at all times. And He's not going anywhere. He's always faithful and always constant with His love. And that's something we can hold on to as believers. But I hope that's an encouragement for you, whatever your situation is right now. And as we are encouraged and strengthened by that, I know that helped me out a lot. And I hope that does the same for you. But to think about with others around us, outside of us, whether Christians, non-believers, all the same, are struggling right now with fear of all the what ifs that could happen during this time. What if I catch this? What if a family member catches this? What if I lose my job? What if I can't pay to buy necessities for my family? What are we going to do? Like, what in the world am I going to do? Especially for non-believers, even more so, what happens if I do catch this and die? They have to face that question in a way. They don't have that peace and security that as believers we have, knowing that God is going to be with us, and if we die, we spend eternity with Him. So even more so, what a time it is to encourage those who don't know God. What a time it is for them to come to know God during this time. And what a better time to realize, even though church is out, even though we're not going to church on Sundays, it's more than just a building. Like, it's way more than a building. Christ did not call the church the place we go and worship. Christ called the church the hands and feet, which is me and you. Christ called us the church, His hands and feet, to deliver His good news to the people around us. And that's us on the move. It has nothing to do with a building or where we go to worship on Sundays. It is who we are and who Christ called us to be, to walk out His purpose and encourage and bring hope to others who may see nothing but hopelessness right now. So as the church, I know that you may be stuck at home. You may not get to go to work. Even if you do go to work, that may be the only place you go. You may not have the chance to see a lot of people, and you feel like, how could I even help people going through this tough time right now? How could I even be of service to them? Well, I'm stuck at home, so there's nothing I can do. Let me help you out just a little bit, because as easy as that excuse would be, I can't let you have that one. Can't do it, because God has called us the church. God has called us to do something, and especially in a time as dark as right now, with people struggling like they're struggling, God has called us to do something it's different, especially in this time, because we don't have all the social interaction that we're used to having. We don't have all the opportunities that we're used to having, but because God has blessed us with technology and ways to share His gold with others, we have such an opportunity, even in a time like this. So maybe you are stuck at home thinking, well, there's no way I can help anyways. There is a way you can help. And I'm going to hit you with this challenge right here and right now. And I hope that it knocks your socks off and sends you running and having messages sent to all your closest friends and everyone in your contact list. Because God has blessed us with technology. And with this challenge, I wanted to open up the doors for you to do something that thankfully, God has allowed me to do these last few years, which is send out God gold to others in the form of encouragement, in the form of a text message, send it through Facebook, social media platforms, Snapchat, whatever it is. God has given us a way to still encourage and deliver His word, His truth, and His hope to others in this time. And it can look like a lot of different things. We're going to talk about that. But first, I want to just tell you on my end, these last few years of sending you messages daily, it's not been my intention to even do this. I want you to know that first and foremost. If you're thinking, I can never do that, I could never do this, well, I want to let you know I'm not doing this, so don't worry about it, because it's not me that's done this. I literally started by just getting fired up about reading my Bible for the first time, what I was seeing in it. Had an accountability message with a friend and a close brother, and just keeping each other accountable in the Word daily. And we would take a piece of Scripture and then write a little paragraph about the Scripture and our experiences from the day and how that was affecting our lives and what we were learning. And I was sending messages to him every day, and I was like, man, I'm learning so much. This is so great. I'm just like losing my mind at how awesome this is, coming to know Christ in that time for the first time in my life. So I was so excited. I was like, I got to share this with somebody. So I started hitting send to other people. And like I said, I had no intention of anything ever coming from it. But that's how God works. He takes something that's so simple and so easy, something that's so simple that we would have no idea of what He's going to do through it. And then He takes it and He blesses it and He encourages people through it. And that is why we're here right now, because God has done that through these messages. And I want to open up that door and opportunity for you to send out these messages, a God gold, to one of your friends, people around you, people close to you, who may be needing encouragement, who may be needing hope in this time when all they see is hopelessness, who may need peace when they are so anxious, who may need joy when all they see is despair. I want to help you in whatever way possible to open up the door for you to send out a God gold to people around you. And I'm going to give you a couple of quick things as we wrap up and in this challenge, and to just help you out in doing this. It's so easy and simple. It's honestly just whatever you're reading in your quiet time. If that's really encouraging you and that's speaking over your life, God's moving in that time, send that verse to somebody else. If you're having an experience in your life where you've seen God move in a way and the work of His hand in your life, send that encouragement to somebody else. If you just want to text somebody and say, hey, how can I pray for you? Hey, I'm praying for you today. Whatever it is, you can even send them this verse, Deuteronomy 31:8. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. That's a verse you can send them. That's a great encouragement to let them know that God is with them in this time. However, whatever verse God lays on your heart to say, whatever encouragement God lays on your heart to say, whether it's something like, this has been helping me out a lot lately, I just wanted to send it to you today with the hope that it might help and encourage you also. Just something simple, with the goal being the other person being encouraged, the other person being moved and just uplifted, because that is what God's placed us here for, to encourage our neighbors, to encourage the people around us, and to share His gold with them, which is the greatest encouragement we could ever share. And that could be in, like I said, in the form of a text, in the form of whatever way you find it easiest for you, and whatever way God leads you to say it. I just want you to know there's no limits to how you send out and share God's goal with others. You can encourage others in whatever way feels right to you, whatever way God opens up to whoever God opens up for you to send it to. Maybe it's one person a day, a week, however you want to do it. There's no limits to this challenge. I just want to challenge you during this time where there's not as much social interaction to use the technology God has blessed us with and send out some God gold to other people. And like, let them know that they are loved, that they are, just encourage them in this time. Just as simple as that. Just encourage them. Just give them something to hold on to in such a dark time where they may be facing something that's bigger than them. To have people message you and lift you up in a time where you're struggling, think of how much that would affect you. That would mean a lot. It really would. And if you have fear over this of what other people think, maybe they're going to think I'm weird for sending Bible verses and I'm not Jesus freak. Whatever your fear is, I've had that fear myself. I still have this fear even telling you this right now. But just know at the end of the day that what God's going to do through your message and through whatever encouragement you send in His Word or whatever it is, that the impact is so much bigger and going to be so much greater than anything, any fear or anything that could come up in your life. So just put that aside and just hit send and see what God does through it. That's the challenge today, to just send out a God gold. Doesn't have to be a long theological message, just something simple. Say this verse right here, Deuteronomy 31:8 or whatever verse it is, has been encouraging me. I hope it encourages you today. I hope it gives you some hope and encouragement and faith during this time where you may have been struggling or where you may need it. Ask Him what you can pray for Him for. Whatever way you want to do it, it's between you and God. So I'm here for you if you need any help at all. I'm just excited to see what God's going to do through His church in this time, to be the hands and feet to deliver His good news and His truth and His encouragement to others who may be going through some tough stuff right now. So pumped about that, pumped to hear all that God does through your life and through these messages. And the challenge is up to you. Today is the day, not tomorrow, but today is the day that you reach out to someone and share God's gold with them. All right, y'all have a great day. Love you and can't wait to hear what God does through this.
Let me tell you about Him. Jesus is His name, and I'm all about Him. I live to bring Him praise. He is the way and the truth and the life. God is 3 in 1, reigning undefeated. Our God has overcome. Jesus, Jesus.